Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Anna Morphides with Many Hearts Counseling, and today's video we are going to be talking about the art of letting go. The art of letting go people, the art of letting go unhelpful ideas about who we are, unhelpful beliefs that we have acquired as children, letting go of any expectations that we have of an outcome. We hear a lot about this, letting go of expectations of a specific outcome or letting go of an idea of a particular person or a particular job being our happiness. Letting go of all these things we're going to be talking about today because it comes down to the same core concept. I am a certified wellness counselor and a life skills coach, and I also do hold a degree in major biology and a minor in psychology. So I have been studying the human ego side, the human self side, and our psychology for 20 years plus. I found it really fascinating how we are bred to be as humans, but how we are supposed to be living as humans, but we're not given this information unless, I didn't really know about this until I decided to go back to school on my own and just do this self-work on my own self and really listen to other people that are now authors and or successful speakers in how else life could be. So as humans, we do tend to attach to beliefs, ideas, people, jobs, situations. I hear this day in and day out as well in my career that I have been so blessed to have. People can attach to things such as, I don't have enough time. I never have enough time. People can attach to ideas, I don't have any help. People can attach to ideas that perhaps their family life is out of their control because their partner is not doing what they want them to do. We attach to these ideas and or beliefs about what is taking place in our world, and we make that to be a definite thing, so then we can't actually have the thing that we want, like control in our family life, a healthy relationship with a romantic partner, because we are attaching to ideas such as I'm not good enough, or I'm bound to be rejected. So it's like we're self-sabotaging in that moment. But once we're able to step back and see that the world really is a mirror. So we do need people and or situations to show us what it is that we need to let go of anyways. What is it that you're trying to control of in another person in this current moment that is holding you back from achieving the thing that you want? So for example, if it's a healthy relationship with someone where you feel a connection and respect and satisfaction and fulfillment, are you able to do all these things with yourself? If you are attaching to an idea that you don't have control over, say, your career or your family life because your coworker and or your boss are not showing up in a certain way, or your partner is not showing up in the ways that you are thinking that they need to be showing up as, are you showing up in those ways that you're expecting other people to show up as? Because there is no power. That's the magic of life once we understand it, because so many of us feel powerless, and we feel like if our boss was like this, or if my partner was more like this, or if I had more money, or if I had more, if I was younger, if I was less this, if I was more that. These are all limiting beliefs that the ego sort of develops in our earlier years of our childhood. And thanks to Sigmund Freud for bringing the light to the ego, because it becomes our misguided, it becomes a misguided eye later on for us as adults, because it is trying to protect us from what took place in the past, but it limits our future. So for example, if you grew up in a household where you were super criticized as a child, then it makes sense that the ego that you develop into your adult years will want to protect you from breaking out of the familiar and perhaps getting in a job, or perhaps showcasing your talent in something that you are wishing to be a bigger part of, because you're realizing that you have talents in certain areas of art. Whatever it might be, that ego, the misguided ally, will try to protect you from what you felt as a child when you were criticized. So that's why it's called a misguided ally, because it's trying to protect you from not feeling the feelings that you felt as a child. But it's also preventing you to do the things now that you want as an adult by keeping you in that fear. But fear is not supposed to be there, because say if you grew up in a household where you were not criticized and you were praised even for, say, the worst project you ever did, then that fear wouldn't be there, and the ego that would have developed would be speaking to you completely differently. And that's why sometimes the ego does have to be silenced and quietened. And ego comes from the Greek word ego, which means I. So it's like that sense of self that we develop as a child literally is completely outside of our control, and it depends on our primary caregiver and how they interact with us and the world around us. And we do acquire beliefs, and we do acquire an attachment style. So a lot of the times, letting go also means working on our attachment style, because if you are of an anxious attachment style, then you are most likely going to attach onto people to self-validate you and to really feed your negative self-view. That is very limiting. And once we understand that the world really is a mirror and it is purely showing us back what it is that we are attaching to in the first place, then we can let go of that same thing. So we are always in control and in power once we understand that. And we always have the available information in front of us. So if you're attaching to someone in order to feel loved, that is a clear indication that there's a big part of you that is not fully loving yourself and giving that to yourself, because as within, so without. Like if you have that from within, we're not really going to be needing that from the outside world. If we felt in control of ourselves and our work life and our children's life, or whatever home life it is right now that you perhaps are venting to your friends, that you don't have control of, and it leaves you at your wit's end, and it leaves you super upset. And with this particular saying, for example, that unless they get on board, speaking of their partner, this will never take place. But this in actuality is not true. The thing that you are wishing for your partner to do for you most likely is something that you are not doing. So for example, if I have a session and someone's saying to me that they're not helping them implement a particular, say they want to implement a particular routine for their children, and they're saying this will never work unless my partner is on board with it and does it, then you're giving all your power away. Why are you not implementing that and not counting on somebody else to like exercise it out for you? Because we can't make people do the things that we think that they should be doing, right? Because of their own wounds as well. So the more wounded we are, the more wounded we're gonna, the same amount of wounding in people we're gonna be attracting. So if I'm expecting someone who's unable to show up for me in a way that I need them for within my family life, there is a really big indication that I'm also not showing up. So the thing that I'm screaming and really feeling frustrated that I'm not receiving from my partner, I'm also not receiving from myself. And that goes about anything. The world really is a mirror. The more you want validation from your boss, the less you're going to get it if you're not validating yourself. But then, because also the beautiful thing is the world is a mirror, the more we love ourselves, the more we self-validate ourselves, the more of everything that we provide for ourselves based on the challenge that we feel from the outside world is how we stop attaching to the other people and or ideas and or anything else to have them be a part of why something is happening or is not happening, because there truly is no power in that. And as humans, I do understand that we feel emotions very deeply, and also not attaching to our emotions is a really, really, really big thing to master in this life, because we are not our emotions or our thoughts. Thoughts produce emotions, emotions produce behavior. So if we can control our thoughts, we can control our emotions, and we get to pick our thoughts. That's our superpower. Therefore, we get to pick our emotions, because a lot of the time stuff happens. Like today, I had a situation that happened that left me really disappointed. I was really looking forward to something, and things outside of my control, it just was not meant to be for me today. And that's okay too. So I needed to let go of any negative emotion that I was potentially going to attach to that experience not taking place. And also knowing that whatever is meant to be mine will always be mine. And to take this circumstance as an indication of, so if I'm disappointed about something not happening, that's a clear indication to me that, hey, I really want more of that. So how can I create a little bit more of that for myself? Or maybe I would have felt elation as opposed to disappointment. And then I would have realized that, whew, like I need to do less of that because I want to still feel that elation. Or if it's disappointment, then I want to do more of that because it felt disappointing to not be able to have that part of my life experience. So I'm choosing to let go of the idea that this somehow happened to challenge me. And if I'm going to attach to something, I might as well attach to something that is positive and attach, well, not really attach, but like think of it of like, why did this actually happen for me, and not attach any emotion or validity to it or anything about myself or anything, because I could have really easily let this thing affect my entire day and then affect my behaviors for the rest of the day, and then be less productive, because a really big part of me also did not want to make this video anymore. I was so excited to make this video about the art of letting go, because I was getting ready in the morning and I was getting these downloads, and I was just so grateful that I'm so able now to let go. After I speak with clients, right, and I remember how much baggage I used to hold because of ideas that I was attached to, or things that I wanted other people to perform for me that I was actually unable and not doing for myself until I understood that. I was thinking how great it would be to put out a video and like share with the world how much I had to let go of people-pleasing habits, let go of jealousy issues, let go of my anxious attachment, let go of negative core beliefs that I'm not good enough, that I'm bound to be rejected, bound to be alone. I had to let go of the idea that people would love me more if I did more, and that will never work. Or the idea that if I say yes, even when I say no, again, I'm going to be liked more. That's not true. That actually the complete opposite works. I had to let go of my negative self-view. I had to let go of putting people on the pedestal. I had to let go of the idea that my happiness lied in the arms of another man. I had to let go of the idea that, yeah, if a door closed, if someone said no to me, that I had to let go of the idea that that meant that I was not good enough, or I'm just a terrible human being, or I'm not enough, or that just means that there is a different path for me. The meaning that we give as humans to things is essentially what's going to shape that exact moment and or our future. Because if we give it a meaning such as something else will come for us, or that was just not meant to be mine, and I know by feeling if I want to pursue that again or not pursue that again, or do something more of this or not that, or like we give it a meaning in a different way, not that it's affecting our life in a negative way, then we can just move forward in more peace and then bring in more things that will bring us peace. And because we are wired to be below the line, it's just how it is. Our 5 predominant human emotions, we have anger, fear, disgust, sadness, and then joy. So the probability that we're going to land in emotions of anger or sadness or fear or disgust, anger, fear, sadness, are way more higher in probability than it is for joy. So that's why we like Buddha says, if we can be happy 50% of the time, we're we are winning in this game of life. And that's completely true. So if you are comfortable to share what it is that you're needing to let go of, or what you are finding that you're attaching to right now that is really limiting you from living out your unlimited potential that you have as a human being, I would love to hear. And I'm here for all of it. Any feedback, comments, concerns, questions, I love to hear from you. Any future topics that you would love for me to perhaps embark on, I would also embrace that gratefully. And if you liked anything about this video, I would love it if you give it a thumbs up, or subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and hit that notification button so you know when I'm releasing another video. And with that said, with all my love and my gratitude again, and I will see you next time.